You probably see him at the.
We collect. The collector's going digital and Jack collects. Beyond the drop. Let's collect, let's connect. Beyond the drop. Collect. We collect. We collect the strong digital and Jack collects. Beyond the drop. Let's collect, let's connect. Let's connect. Beyond the drop.
All right, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Drop, episode 37 today. And today, guys, I'm solo here, but I have a great guest, and let's pull our guest up today and welcome my friend
Hello.
Paul. And I hope I pronounce your second name, Campione.
Yeah, that's it. Very good.
Nice.
Right on the mark.
Nice.
Good work.
So, some of you might know him because he's running a show called "What Do You Collect" on the Collect and Connect podcast, right? Or channel.
Yep. Yeah,
Cool.
Collectin and Connectin over on YouTube, and same on our website, collectinandconnectin.com. We'll get you to all our live streams and podcasts that we're putting out there.
Nice. I'm really happy to have you here today because I mean you are a long time collector, right? So, like the first question I would have: how did it all start for you? Like, how did you discover collecting and the love of collecting?
Sure. I think it mainly came from my dad. This year being Father's Day in America, recording this episode is nice to tie this all in together. Something that brings me back to, my dad when I was a kid. I was a sports fan, started out liking, New York Yankees at the time. It was the 80s. They weren't the best team, but, just kind of fell in love with, Don Mattingly as being my, favorite player. And then from there, just wanted to, I guess have something just to kind of like show, put up in my room, like I think most like young sports fans want, So just basically gone to a local hobby shop. And from there, just started one pack at a time and just enjoyed I think it's that first kind of like couple of rips of opening a pack and getting players that you like. I think it's kind of
Tasting the blood, right?
Yeah,
Tasting.
you're hooked for life after that.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's like once you got that in your DNA and in your bones to say, wow, this is cool, this is fun. It never leaves because I think it just evolves over time, but it always keeps coming back to that, surprise factor or getting something that you're not expecting. It's like you see today, so many things have evolved into like toys hidden in eggs and surprise. And like they sell chocolate with surprises inside. I mean, geez, we can't even just sell chocolate. We're hiding little things inside to make it like now it's something even more special or something that is different, because sometimes I think it's that fact of like what else could I get in this, like who knows what it is. If you just see something straight on the shelf, you might have been sorting after it for a while, but the surprise factor is something that's always, I think, that hook into collecting.
I mean sorry to interrupt there right away, but it feels like this hook into collecting gets like more and more brought back. I mean, you had, for example, Gary V as a guest on your show, and honestly, it would be like one of my favorite guests. But I guess we have to work a little bit more because before he might hop on. But he's talking more and more about like big brands getting back into like putting collectibles as a marketing gimmick inside of boxes or using collectibles as a marketing tool. So that's pretty interesting.
Sure.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead. That was
no, absolutely. I think that's pretty much right on. It's something that I think as you go on with it, as things evolve, obviously, it's like the collecting There's some, high prized grails that people want from the 50s and 60s and 70s, but it wasn't as, say, common to go to your local hobby shop. It was something that maybe cards were just sold in your local pharmacy, candy store. It wasn't like a store back then was dedicated to collectibles. So to me, it's interesting to see how things change. So it's like you have the 80s, I felt like was the beginning of like pure hobby shops. 90s, it kind of took another level. And then I kind of like the junk wax era in the physical world. People, wanted their favorite players, but there weren't those chase cards and weren't those big, one of ones and, autographs inside until like the 90s kind of like introduced some of that. Yeah. And then you kind of saw towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s, like I like the variety, like I'm not somebody that's just fixated on like one brand, one type of collectible. Like I was, from even a starting lineup figure were collectibles at the time. They were just like figures of your sports players, or it was for a while Kodak came out with these 3D motion, like these reels, and it was like a card that if you kind of pivot it, the running back made the whole play. It was like him at the 1 yard line and then going in for the touchdown. Like it was like something that these obscure odd things that sometimes they never say lit up the price guide, but to me it wasn't about that. If it's my favorite player, my favorite team, or a guy that I just love to watch how they play the game, and it's a cool collectible, like I bought it and I still have it. Like it's something that it's just I consider it very unique or something different. Like I still go after things like that. So it's to me, once the digital world came into play, and I really took a look at the digital collectibles out there, it kind of the same concept brought something new to say that if I like this and I enjoy it and I see like it's a quality product, I want in on it. I want to see what it's about, see if there's something there of interest that I like. So from there, it's just been exploring all the different collectibles that I've really come across. And that's where I decided to start the What Do You Collect podcast, because stemming from me of collecting so much stuff, I was like, that there's so many different avenues out there, but I felt like it wasn't like a direct place to go and learn about them. It's kind of like you had to, fall and stumble upon each thing on your own. But obviously, if you see behind me, I was big into, when it first came out, the NBA Top Shot. As you see these murals and little collectibles behind me mixed in with the rest of the stuff, and that was to me the big thing that kind of brought it to like a mainstream avenue to say that you could collect digital, and there's that there's a mint to it, a community to it, a value. Like it's just something that kind of pieced all the physical aspects into the digital world. And for me, it was the ease of attraction to buy a collectible that way. It's like no gradings involved. It's just so many positive aspects of collecting digital that I said that this is great. I just loved it, and from there I've been exploring as as each day goes along, basically. I really like that you, as like a traditional collector, I would say, are so curious about this new digital collecting space, because the digital collecting space like has a reputation problem at the moment, I would say, in terms of like reaching the normal physical collectors. But I really like to see that you're open-minded there and came. Was it in 2021 when you discovered Top Shot and NBA Top Shots? Yep, exactly. That was earlier in the year of 2021, and from there it was just from the first pack. Obviously there was a big boom, as a lot of people know, in the crypto world, and from there a lot of these that are NFTs are minted on chain, and they're associated to some crypto coin. When you look, I think, into the back end, and some people are interested in that and find it really cool, and some people are kind of like scared and thrown off by I think the complex background to some of these digital assets, but for me it's like after being comfortable in the space, when you hear things have, moved into a more secure space now, and your assets like with NBA Top Shot have recently just, been moved on to a third-party secure site. So it's something that now, if your assets are secured and safe off of the site itself, so it's something that you own, that that minted video highlight. And I think if you just simplify it, it will appeal, it will appeal more to the average collector or somebody that's not really wanting to dig deep into this. Explaining blockchain and all this gets them, I think, kind of scared. It's kind of like, what does that mean? It's like, and then when you just kind of, it's like anything. If you don't fully understand it, you're not gonna, put your hard-earned money towards it. But if you can sit down and talk to somebody who's passionate about it, and to me, it's like, I feel like it's the experience of it. It's something that doesn't come along with the physical world to the extent that it does in digital, because you're constantly plugged in with the community, whether it's through Discords, chat in the apps itself. You don't stay as plugged in with a physical community unless you go to your physical shop or go to a place, like a trade show that comes up whenever it comes up. But this is something that the people that I've become friends with, and most that I haven't even met in the last 5-6 years. It's like you still stay connected daily, and it's like who that person is. You start to know their personal life, their favorite teams. It's like you have a virtual world of friends, and then which is great. It's like these in real life events, like Top Shot throws. Dapper Labs is great at doing that stuff, where it's like we're coming up here in July, where the whole
nice community meetups, huh?
Right, they're going to summer.
Pretty cool.
It's nice. It's nice to get out there and just really, see the people that you've been talking with and trading with and buying collectibles from.
Yeah, I mean, which also enhances like the bond between collectors for years online, right? It's still something different when you meet in person, right? But I'm not the biggest sports fan, to be fair. So I was never into NBA Top Shots. So what is like the current sentiment of the community? Because as you mentioned, I mean, I'm from the VeVe world mostly, but I mean, we've seen it, like you probably saw it as well, like a big hype cycle, and then straight down. But I would say on the VeVe side, like the core community is like stronger than ever, and we discover, or new people discover, our community. How does it look on the NFT and on the Top Shot side?
Of course, I think all digital kind of experienced that same feeling, where it was obviously, if you're just looking at it at the like looking at your bag and your digital value, obviously. It's tough if you want to know what something is worth, but it also relates to everything else in the world, depending on how the last 5 years have gone. It's like inflation and what people have to spend isn't the same that it was in 2020, 2021. So it's like, obviously, when it comes to buying a new car, people are hesitant now because of the price that it's increased over the last 5 to 6 years. So it's not just, I think, like, it's hard to, when you collect, to look outside of it. But if you look outside of it, everything is different when it comes to spending money. So it's kind of like, just what I like to see is that if the communities are staying strong through these years, it means that there's something there and there's something special with that. So with Top Shot, I'd say what's really cool is that it's the Flow blockchain and Dapper Labs, they've also come up with Disney Pinnacle, which is a obviously like sports collectible, and that has also been a nice strong market that has had big sales, and a lot of, like, they just had a drop yesterday. High price was like 500 for for one of the packs. It was $99 for the middle level, and then there's still some $5 ones out there. And they all, those $500 ones sold out, within I don't know, 10 minutes. Like, it really wasn't long until they were all gone.
Yes, still crazy, right? What kind of sales volume is behind those drops sometimes?
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen the same on VeVe. Like, we had, for example, Yoda dropping and the Millennium Falcon, instant sellout. But sorry, go ahead.
Sure, no, and I think that's what's kind of that's what's kind of securing the collectible as the years go on. I think it's like each product has something special. Obviously, I've collected as well with candy and the baseball stuff there, the comic stuff. VeVe, I've had some stuff from the from the early beginning days as well. NHL Breakaway. It's like everyone's kind of, I think, has their tight communities that have invested and appreciate the product. And okay, the growth may not be like it was from day one when everybody was just coming in to say, check it out, and it was new. And I think a lot of people, like when anything's new, they want to invest in it early and they want to maybe make a profit, or they want to see like, hey, this might triple double and I want to sell. And that's what happens in the beginning. But as we can see, it's kind of things over time just level out. And I think that's where the digital collectible space is now. It's kind of leveling to what the actual product is, because in the beginning, nobody really knows where it's going. Nobody knows that the whole community aspects and having real life events where people meet up are important, and things like that. You kind of figure, like, a lot of this was the community's help guide where these collectibles are going. And I think that that's something that's unlike any other product out there, where the community really doesn't have much say. If you want to say like, hey, Top, stop printing,
Try that. Good luck.
Good luck on that one. Like, all right, just make 2 Cooper Flag rookie cards for the season, please. Not every set that comes out has a million types, you know what I mean? Or, different variants. Because to me, it's like sometimes it's overproduced, and it's kind of like, well, what's the specialness of having a rookie card if there is like one brand has made 50 different kinds of rookie cards? It's like, I guess the mint size is always the attractive part. But otherwise, if it's not minted, and it just has like an open run that you don't even know how many exist. Like, we don't need this many. I mean, it's kind of special to know. Like, to me, it's like those old rookie cards. Even if you don't collect sports, everybody knows what the Michael Jordan Fleer rookie card looks like. You know what I mean? It's like that was it. That was the one. There was a star rookie card that's also a sought after one, but that's it. 1-2 options. It wasn't 50 different ones that came out in the same year. But everyone's out there to sell packs and sell products. So one way or another, it's gonna we're gonna get that. But you choose what you like. You choose what you like to collect. If you find one rookie that really you love that design and the artwork, and that's something that also drew me into digital, is the artwork. I mean, how the digital art, I think, is just really has come a long way from the very beginning. And just to see how cool some of these products look really presents it well. Where some people, you kind of say in the sports world, like, hey, I can go on YouTube and behind me I could get, one of these highlights and I could play it all day in my house. Like, why do I need to spend money for it? But to me, it's like you're paying for it. It's officially licensed. Licensing to me is important because it's something that says that this company went out there and went after getting approval for this. It's not you're not allowed to,
especially in an AI world where you can produce like unlimited AI video of all kinds, right?
Yep, exactly. Because that to me is like, then if it's AI produced from here on, who knows what's real and what's not. But if something has the officially licensed label on it, to me that's saying that, well, you have something that is more rare compared to all the videos that are out there. And of course, there's a mint to all this, where it's like, this highlight is going to be minted once, and that's the mint size, and whatever it is, they're not going to go back and produce the same exact video highlight again. So it's something that you get it in the moment. You get it for what you appreciate of that, say, player or highlight of it, or that team that you collect, and you have that forever. So to me, the licensing is a big part of why I see the digital world is worth taking a look at for any collector.
Yeah, 100%. Before I ask my next question, hi to Omar, hi to Dee, and hi to John as well. Also, Hinano here in the chat. Let's go. I love that you guys are reaching guests from outside our community. What's good, Paul, with this one? Doug, hello, and Ronnie. Awesome to have you guys here. You could cut a picture of a player and stick it to cardboard. So why would you pay for a baseball card? I mean,
I mean, look, it's like I go back to the licensing on that. You know, anything physical. I mean, sure, everyone could collect that. There's not to say that it's wrong. If you're happy with, you know, cutting out a picture out of a magazine and putting it in a frame, I mean, that's, you know, that's fine. That's what you want to do. That's what you know, that's what that you're okay with that. But some people, I think, just like to have something a little bit more special if they appreciate it. Like with the any kind of, like you said, the comics and the Marvel stuff. Like, sure, there's so many special comics that you like, and to have it digitally, I also think that's super cool because it gives you a chance to read through a comic without ruining it and without putting your fingers on it or creasing the pages. It's like there's so much stress and like worry sometimes with a physical product. You're like, oh, I don't know, I got this card right out of the pack, but is it a 5? Is it a 4? Is it a 10? Like, it's like it's hard enough to get the card, then you got to worry about what condition or whatever it gets rated. But in the digital world, it's like rating goes out the window because this is it. Like, it's not getting any more pristine than this condition. Obviously, a digital collectible, it's you know, you don't have to send it off anywhere, and you don't have to worry about, you know,
which is a pain all the time, right? I mean, extra cost, maybe it gets lost, and you're waiting for it like sometimes for years or so. So, but sorry, make your point.
No. Yeah, I was saying exactly. So that's why I enjoy the digital world as it's obvious. So you don't have to take those chances, and you know, even the that it's open for opinion, because sometimes you can say it's a 9. Maybe if you send it in 2 days later, the guy would have gave it a 10. Like, who knows? I don't know.
I mean, isn't that a big Logan Paul debate if it's a 10 or not? I mean, let us not get into that topic. But you've mentioned earlier you've collected on VeVe, on Candy, obviously NBA Top Shots, Pinnacle. Which are like your focused platforms at the moment? Are you still collecting here and there on VeVe or Candy, for example?
Sure. Yeah, I definitely, as time goes on, if there's something that I really, I enjoy, I will go after. Like, I, you know, recently went into a bunch of Panini, the blockchain. Panini has
big topic,
big sales. Obviously, it's something that there's no video behind it. It's more of a you know, static card, and there are like animations to it, but it's not, say, a video you know, reel of the plays, but it's a variation on their Panini's physical cards for the most part. And I think that there's some really great products within there. Obviously, they cover a lot of the sports with, you know, soccer being popular now. You got the World Cup going on. There's Lionel Messi.
Germany won yesterday.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay,
it was really, really close.
It's heated up. This is it now. Once you get out of those like first and second rounds, it's like that's when everybody really starts. You start seeing the shirts out there in the streets and the people screaming out of the bars. So that's it. You'll know there's a game on. Especially, you know, I'm in you know, working Manhattan, working New York City. So it's such a mix of people there. So you never know at one bar who's rooting for who, because it's, you know, you have everybody's in town. So it's just fun to see.
I mean, you guys had something really special in New York. Like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I'm not too sure about it. So, I mean, I've seen pictures and videos of that. Crazy. First of all, getting back into the game and winning it, and then also like all the fans gathering around in the streets. That was just phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, the New York Knicks have brought something that, you know, 53 years has been a drought around here, which year after year buying tickets to games and all that, and it's just, you never experienced it. But as you can see, even right behind me, we got some of this is the OG Anunoby tip and play. So it's something that, you know, this is right from the finals. Like, where can you get a collectible that, you know, is instantly, you know, could be available, where it's like, okay, maybe they'll take a couple days to be delivered to your account, but they're being produced and it's out there, and you can rewatch these plays over and over, and something that I think is real special when your team hasn't experienced this before. And obviously New York was going crazy with every win as this has been going on. But now we got USA still going on in the World Cup. We'll see what that translates to.
Yeah. I mean, good luck to you guys. Let's meet each other in the final.
Sure, listen, that's it.
Then I'm definitely rooting for Germany. I have to be honest on that front. But we now spoke a lot about digital collecting. I mean, I love digital collecting, and through digital collecting, I got back into the physical side of it a little bit more. But what's like your habit of collecting? Do you still collect like digital and physical kind of equally, or is it more on the digital or more on the physical side?
I'd say for me, it's honestly pretty split. It's pretty even to the fact that it all depends for me. What comes out and what my fandom is and my appreciation is for the players and the teams. Like, for obviously now the Knicks have won, so I think I'm going over my credit card limits in a lot of ways. Whether it's physical, digital, I don't even know, virtual, any way that it's possible, I'm pretty much buying something. So whether even coming down to the T-shirts that are, the hats that are $50 a piece. I mean, whatever it is, there's reasons why I'll collect. Or if it's like I'm really impressed, say with a rookie that has come out into the NBA, or with the NFL. There was also NFL All Day, which was a product with Dapper Labs. Like, I'm a New York fan. We have Jackson Dart as a rookie quarterback last season, so I'm going to go out and buy his physical and digital stuff. It's like I like a new player that has come in, so up on the shelf I'll have his digital card and his autographed physical rookie card. And it's the same with some other things that I find into, like celebrity collectibles. Like there's some neat stuff I try to pick up, as I like old movies and vintage vintage movies, old music. So there's older sets that have come out with like Americana and basically like a swatch of Frank Sinatra's worn clothing put inside a card and authenticated. So to me, it's like I'm going to see those pieces as well. If it's something that it's timeless, I never stop collecting that. So most of those obviously are physical, like game worn jerseys and articles of clothing from celebrities, their signatures that are cut and put into cards and authenticated. I won't stop collecting if it's something that I see is like, oh, this person I idolize. And
so like your podcast was kind of an outlet for your collecting addiction, as it kind of seems, right? Exactly.
It's basically, it's just you enjoy. If you enjoy something, I feel like you want to be a part of it. It's like going to visit like someone's house where they're born, and it's like, oh, Albert Einstein's house. Like, all right, let's go check it out. You want to connect to that person, even though he's not going to come out of the house. Like, I'm going.
Probably not.
Probably, I don't think he's still coming up with stuff, but I mean, you still want to drive by and see, or if there's a museum, take a walk inside. It's like I always enjoy those things. Like, there's a Lucille Ball Museum in upstate New York. You got a James Dean Museum over in Indiana, Elvis's house in Graceland, and like, it's just like, these things are just they're around for a reason. People just want to get close somehow to closer to something that they appreciate.
Fair. And when it comes to collecting, are you like a collector who just collects and collects and collects and never sells anything, or are you also like in the kind of buying and selling and trading world of collecting?
Sure. No, I'm definitely, I think for the stuff that I enjoy, I'm going to hold on to. For obviously, I still have a ton of stuff that I mostly collect. But obviously, if you get something that's, it's a big sale, if you unload it and it's a player that's one of your rivals, say, and you're like, oh, listen, this guy, I can't take this guy every time he plays my team, I'll probably sell it, because I'm just looking to take that money and put it into something that I enjoy. Some players, it's just, there's nothing personal against them. But if it's like, oh no, this guy kills my team every year, I hate him. I don't want him in my collection. Get him out of here. I'm not displaying this thing. I'm going to bury it in a box. So I might as well just convert it into something I enjoy. And
Yeah,
that's the perk I love with the digital world, because all these collectibles come with, the marketplace built in. It's like how easy is it to just rip something, it's worth money, and in seconds you almost could sell it if if you want, or you wait for a better price, and obviously you put it out there and see if you get offers and things like that. So it's neat to see, it's neat to do that, because physically, if I rip a 1,000 packs in my room, I got to go now list them all individually, either on eBay, or I got to go out to a hobby shop. It takes time to do all that. So as you get older, you don't have that much time. Sometimes your days are filled up with too much stuff, though. It's like the digital world makes it a lot easier to sell off something you want to.
Yeah. What is like your personal prediction for the digital collectibles market overall? Will it come back and get more traction and will be more adopted in the next couple of years? What's your take on that?
I personally think so. I think that there's a huge upside to digital, where I think if to me, it's look at everything as a collectible. A lot of this stuff has increased over the years, but I'm not sure if it's increasing just because of, say, inflation prices. It's, to me, like, well, yeah, the Michael Jordan card has went up double, but everything's went up double. I'm paying double for my groceries. So it's like it's easy to sometimes pick one piece of news and kind of I don't know, say that, oh, this thing's doing better than another thing. But I think it's just the fact of things are getting harder to obtain. And digital right now is not as popular, or hasn't been out there for as long. Not to say that it can't, but to me, I would say there's more of an upside to something that hasn't been, say, pushed out there to every household. It's not a household name yet, where you could say like, oh, the Topps, Mickey Mantle rookie card. I mean, a lot of people know of it, whether none of them have it, but they know about it. But if you make something in the digital world, how many people out of 100 are going to know exactly what you're talking about? Not many, you know what I mean? So it's, to me, it's like, it's going to me, it stands the test of time to see how this goes to, as long as the licensing could continue, I think that there's more upside to collecting digital than anything else out there, because it just hasn't been exposed, and many people haven't been exposed to it as much.
Yeah, I think what I think like really fascinating on the digital side is, first of all, for the licensor, the ongoing royalties, because if a card from Topps gets sold for 100K or so, they get absolutely none of that dollars, and on the digital side, they get the royalties all the time. When stuff gets sold. And also the potential for giving collectibles utility, for example, just as an example, and nothing is confirmed there, but you hold, for example, the partner statue on VeVe, and you get one ticket for Disney World for free a year or stuff like that. They could potentially do that because it's verifiably in your wallet. So I really like that side of the digital as well.
For sure. I think that's exactly like you're saying. The real life experiences are something that I don't know why, but for some reason really don't come along with the physical aspects. And to me, that if you get the right brand behind wanting to sponsor that and say like, hey, let's lean into this a little more, it now all of a sudden becomes like, you don't have to, it becomes, like a wildfire. You know what I mean? I feel like once it's put out there that this is just something that is a part of the community of coming from the brand side, the major brand, whether, like you said, Disney, or, if the NBA starts to push something, or directly, it's going to definitely, people will take to it as trusting it as like, this is something that is not scary, because it's, what is it, when they look at the back end, I'm putting my credit card on this website, I don't even know what this is, what I mean? It's like something that, who knows too, if you, if you start seeing things in more popular places, where it's like, if I don't know, if things are sold on Amazon, if digital collectibles are sold on Amazon, to me, I think you're gonna have a lot more people trusting it.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's hope that we see that in the future.
To me, it's like that, it's like the eBay world. Like, people go on eBay and sometimes, they speculate. I don't know, is this t-shirt real? Did somebody just print this on there? But if it's sold on, Fanatics, then you're not questioning it. You're just going out there and putting in your credit card, So it's like, You never know. I think they were, a couple steps away from this, the public really being able to just, without a blink of an eye, go into it and trust what they're buying.
Yeah. Going back to the point we made earlier with like the trust problem in digital collectibles, because there were so many scams back in 2021 and 2022, and lots of people got burned. But you're a community captain at NBA Top Shot. What does that mean, and what kind of role is that?
Well, basically, there was something that, it's coming from the community itself. A lot of people have just showed interest in wanting to kind of start like in real life events or get fans together, get people together. So there's a great program along with NBA Top Shot, where it was kind of the collectors themselves basically have got, were voted in or volunteered, and just kind of from there is starting that out was just say, all right, let's get the people who New York collectors, New Jersey collectors together. Let's have an event, a watch party, and it's something from the brand that they would help sponsor and promote, whether it's giving some products or giving funds to say host a party and things like that. It's something that I think that was truly important to build that community, and basically just being able to get people together and talk about what they collect and everything from the sports themselves to watch parties. Some people have done things in the community, like have designed a basketball court out in their community, painted it over, fixed it, and now they put the Top Shot brand out there. Some really cool stuff, and dedicated people over the years that have done some great projects out there. And it's just something that it unites the collectors to come to a physical space. And to me, I'm all about that, because once you build a relationship, you digitally, you want to be able to kind of hang out and talk sports and talk whatever collecting in person eventually. So this is a perfect way to do that. So that's what a lot of that is about with the collectibles.
Yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you on that. I can't speak for the NBA Top Shot community, but in terms of the VeVe community, I've never experienced something like that. That's so cool. Like, so many different people, but like-minded in some kind of way. And I met so many like interesting and great characters, made new friends, and I really like that part about collecting, like the community aspect of it. And I personally hope to see that we see more communities in the digital space and physical maybe as well merge together, because you are the perfect example. You collected on Candy, you collected on Pinnacle, you collected on VeVe. So you're kind of part of all the communities, but more centric on the NBA Top Shot side. So really, really cool to see. But let us shift the conversation here a bit. I've mentioned in the beginning, you had like big names on your podcast, like Gary Vee or Joey Hollywood. So what were so cool, so impressive to get those people on your show. But who surprised you the most out of those special guests?
I feel like everyone is pretty special in their own department. To see, like you just said, Joe Hollywood, to see someone who was during COVID said, his wife told him to just start getting rid of some of these collectibles that he had, and with his son just started they started up selling this stuff online, basically through COVID. It was just on Whatnot, and said, I'm going to start selling, getting rid of some of this stuff. Hearing in the beginning he wasn't sure about the values of what things were, so he was giving away some of the things at such a low price, but it kind of built his popularity and followers, and people were obviously subscribing, and then he was doing some amazing giveaways, and just to see how his year after year, how his arc in selling is, and now it's like has a warehouse, has people working for him, he sells huge amounts of stuff, goes for over like 24 hours straight of selling on whatnot. It's just crazy to see how it turned from get rid of your stuff to just, now you have a full-time operation going for you. It's like stories like that, but it's so many amazing, like every guest that I try to get is someone that I try to also tie it in with the panel of people that I have. So I try to find a good relation in a way with everybody. So it's like, even if it's not all just one type of collector, but somehow there's a through line with all the guests that they have something in common with their collecting. So some episodes that I did that were out in the event itself. There's a group called Modern Day Wife, which has these events that totally nothing to do with sports collectibles, or but it's their more physical aspect, where if it's like fashion driven, and they have a lot of people there are selling products, and they have, whether they have a collection of handbags and jewelry and things like that. It's like there's also so many popular accessories out there that I wasn't fully aware of in the collecting trading cards and autographs, but to me, I find that interesting to see, like, okay, how all of a sudden you have a $3,000 handbag and a $5,000 handbag, and these things are selling
and limited edition here and there.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, my girlfriend is a little bit into that kind of stuff, and so so I can.
She's going to have to start her own podcast soon enough. That's it. You're going to see.
Yeah, she's going to. her collection is not that big. There are a few pieces there, but yeah.
And
I
also,
mean, I didn't knew that, like, the fashion collecting is such a huge thing. I mean, I always thought it's like just for flexing, or I wear a Louis Vuitton bag, whatever. But I mean, there's real collecting involved into this. So crazy to see, but cool to hear that from you.
It's true, yeah. And the same with sneakers. I hosted a sneaker con in Philadelphia when they did it there with their trading card alley. They just started to bring trading cards into sneaker cons, which is pretty cool that they're combining both worlds. And to see some of the sneakers that have been sold, I mean, that's also something that growing up as a kid, you just kind of wore your sneakers down until they disappeared. Now it's like, well, they're keeping them in mint condition. They come in there in boxes. I met a guy that came to the event with I don't know, one of these like sand buggies that you go to the beach in, like this, like one of these sleds full of sneakers. He said, I sold all my stuff, he told me, in 45 seconds. I got in the door. Some guy saw my cart and asked me how much do I want for all of it. And he said, and he was walking around with an empty thing the whole show, because he's like, I sold everything as soon as I walked in the door. I said, I couldn't believe that how in demand some of those collectible sneakers are too. So that's what's just been so interesting. I try to get, like I said, with Gary V, his incredible story, taking the digital NFTs from V Friends till now the physical aspect. Now the Topps Chrome cards that have come out, the super stickers with V Friends. It's just like such an amazing community there to see the progression, and to be one of the few people that Topps have produced of a non-sports card in recent years. And it's not like it had a backing to it where it's like a Disney character or something that has a long proven history. It's
it was
amazing.
a bet on him, right? It was like a huge bet on him and his ability to deliver. And I personally think he will deliver over the next couple of decades on that promise with his collection. But maybe also the fanboy speaking out of my heart here.
No, it's true. I mean, and he does great. Like you could see, he's always kind of evolving and has his finger on the pulse of what's next. You can see he's always looking at what's the next thing. And to me, that's always like any company. You don't want to see stale production. You kind of want to see they're always innovative and looking at the next step. So with him, you definitely see, whether it's bringing Steph Curry into the product and getting him to put autographed stickers in packs. It's amazing to see like the way that he continues to evolve the product.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really looking forward to what he will deliver with that, because like he already said, like there will be a lot of utility coming over time. So Yeah, really, really looking forward to that one.
Hmm.
But if we think about the essence of collecting, what is it? I mean, you had so many guests on your show. What I would say, what is the reason, from your understanding, why people collect?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think it's something that goes into just what you're inspired by. I think as a kid is when a lot of this, can begin. You hear most stories, it always goes back to the early days of something. And like nostalgia to me is obviously a huge part of sales in today's
Mhm.
time. How many times you go to a store, take a Target, for example, half of the things are from 50 years ago, that are in like the clothing area, whether it's you're seeing a relation to a movie from the 80s or a cartoon that came out in the 80s. There's a whole t-shirt section in every store of 80s t-shirts, things that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever it is. It's
Yeah,
like this thing is still around. And it's funny to see that,
still
things have,
huge fan base
it's
also.
it's crazy. It's like I start seeing like strawberry shortcake come back and things. I'm like, I didn't know this thing was even a character
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
And I'm like, why? These are people are buying it. It's that, I think it's that good feeling that you kind of had, that brings you back to a memory. And to me, that's what, I had a great guest on, Rhonda Swan, who's basically just like has her own show in finance, and she took nothing with sports collecting or trading cards, but she says to her it's making and collecting memories. She's not a big physical collector, but it's the fact of that, in a sense, it's still collecting. Just because something's a
Yeah.
video highlight, like you're making the memory, you're trying to hold on to, whether it's through photographs or things like that. You're kind of making your marks to look back on something. A lot of the things with collectibles, it's you're looking back on something, which is interesting, because a lot of these things are, whether it's a character from now, yeah, but you're remembering that character from when you watched him as a
Yeah.
kid. Same with the comics, same with the sports players. They're all of plays that happened already. You know what I mean? It's like, whether it came from, people used to clip out newspaper articles and things like that, and make collages and put them decoupage on their wall of whatever it was, like CD covers of, music that they like. It's whatever
Yeah.
your interest is. I think there's always something like, why do you do that? Why are you putting this on your wall? It's just because you appreciate that music. And how many people still walking around with Nirvana t-shirts and Guns N' Roses and things. It's like, you just love the music, you want to show it somehow, and it's like that you want to show your passion. And I think that's what collecting is you showing off and seeing what you're passionate about.
Yeah, yeah. You've mentioned like connecting memories to collectibles. Like, what were like the most special memories you have connected to collectibles in your collection?
Sure. There's definitely, I have behind me Derek Jeter rookie card autographed by him that I was a kid. I went to a Yankee game. It was 1995. He was coming up as a rookie, so he wasn't as popular as the next year when they won the World Series. But him just being so nice to the fans, and I was able to throw him the card over the dugout. He signed it and then threw it back to me. So I'm like that's.
I mean, lucky you caught it.
Yes. Yeah, no, I was, and it was like, the Yankees like weren't so great at the time, so there wasn't that many people around. So I mean, it wasn't like now. Now, yes, it's like you're gonna have people, battling you out of the way. It was like 3 kids, and like that was it. Like it's different when the team is popular and hot, and it's different when obviously they're trying to get people to come out and watch. You got a better odds of getting something then.
Yeah.
But that's a memory to me. And also collecting some of the old Mickey Mantle stuff. My dad passed, but he was a big Mickey Mantle fan, so I always wanted to get some original Mickey Mantle stuff. We collected one together, collected a set of Mantle stuff. So Mickey Mantle to me is always a good memory to kind of tie me back, to family something of that. And NBA Top Shot to me, the digital era, bringing me back to just like how I kind of refueled a lot of the collectible, collecting again for me. I always collected still physical throughout the years, but it would be just at those sparks of where I felt like something I wanted to add to my collection. But bringing this into my like everyday life was through digital. Because of its access and ease to get to it, through a busy work day, you don't always have time to go to a hobby shop and look around and ask questions and buy something, where it's just in your pocket, it's on your laptop, it's on an iPad. You can easily go in, find what's new. You get the alerts on a drop.
Pull it out at the bus stop, whatever, when you have like 2-3 minutes time. Fair.
And that's where I see the ease of this for the future is just going to be, once people, I think, are more turned on to it as this grows. It's basically like buying skins like through a game, through a video game. People are purchasing digital outfits for their in their video games for their characters. I mean, it's really a lot of ways you can see these can be tied together, where if it's like, okay, this is a collectible that now it can be purchased through a video game. Who knows? You could be playing NBA 2K one day and you're buying an NFT in the game that gives your player certain aspects. Like it's things can be connected. I feel like on that mainstream level, it's just a matter of partnerships and working it out between companies and I guess licensing. But the ease of buying digital is makes it just an incredible product. You're with me over there? Sorry, I'm just I'm not getting your feedback. All right. I think I'm solo at the moment, but I enjoyed this time here and enjoyed all this questions and chatting with you. I'd love for everybody to continue to follow and watch the What Do You Collect podcast. You can follow me, Paulie Wiswit, over on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And for ease, just go to whatdoyoucollect.com and you'll have all the YouTube links on there from basically all the episodes of the What Do You Collect podcast. And check us out on the Collecting and Connecting network. Basically, Collecting and Connecting is a community full of creators, content creators. There's a bunch of different shows that are out there almost every night of the week. So we have a full line of podcast hosts producing their own content in their own shows. We have Pudgy Boy Sports Talk. He's on Monday nights. He talks a lot of New York sports at the moment, but then also goes into the NFL draft he's been talking about coming up. You have Chain of Command, a lot of NBA talk on that. Then we also had Chasing the Storm in Oklahoma City, Thunder fan. He's great. Levi, he comes out there, the Okie kid, and talks about his fandom with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wednesdays, we've been having The Hive. The Hive's a big Charlotte Hornets fandom team, and they're out there covering all the sports too. They'll be talking about baseball now. So a lot of great sports. I've just been on a one-man rant here, so it's totally fine. I don't know if you dipped out for a little bit, but I've been keeping it going.
Oh, sorry, man.
No problem.
Sorry. Yeah, awesome. I mean, you know how this game works. So thanks for carrying on here.
You got it. We're just talking about Collectin and Connectin every night of the week on our YouTube channel. We got a different stream to watch. So we got What Do You Collect is just one of the podcasts out there. We have the Collectin and Connectin podcast that also comes out every other week, and then we have Brian J, who talks about Disney Pinnacle every other Thursday. We have a different conversation every Friday. It's a stream of two great people again, Thomas and Unc, who's on there. They do their own podcast. So we kind of trying to build a network of basically of collectors and sports enthusiasts. So it's something that I welcome everybody. If you we're always looking to put some other new podcasts out there. So if you want to talk something passionate, we'll find some room in our schedule to put you on there and stream to all our communities. As we love to open the floor up for everybody. And same with your podcast. If there's ever you want to come on and kind of run your own show or something to our community, it's more than welcome. We love to kind of bring
Nice.
a hub of sources that everybody is welcome to talk their collectibles, and nobody's really talking negative against what you collect. Like, I love to just, everyone who's in there is just a community of people that are open to hear about what you have to talk about. So we've been putting that together where every night of the week we almost have something fun to watch. Just something we've been building over the last 6 months.
You come from a sports media background because you work at ESPN, right?
Yep.
Is that like your way to transition into like all the different shows and building a collectibles media outlet, like you've said? Is it like because of the connections you also have to ESPN?
I know I've been working in video production for many years, so I do have the knowledge of it. So it helps, obviously, to say, okay, I think that this is the way to do it. But I found the need to do it just from being a collector, really, is because I personally didn't like having to scour around the internet to try to find out information about the new collectibles that are coming out. And a lot of times I don't like one source because it's if it's, I don't know, kind of jaded in a way, if depending on what their favorite teams are, what they like, do they have investments in just one product, where to me it's like I don't want to follow one source that I just kind of maybe get a jaded view on a product. To me, that's why I wanted to open up as many hosts as we can to get to talk about their collectibles on Collecting and Connecting, because they're going to talk their passion. And that's what I love to see. Just someone who's passionate about what they collect. And then when you tune on every night, it's a different host, so to me, it's just more of the need of, come to the site, here's everything, and from there everyone kind of has the floor to talk on what they have to present. And that to me is what's needed, because there's no one specific place to go for content. You have to kind of save all your favorites and make it yourself, but then you don't know what time it's coming on. Is there a new episode this week? But this is just like, every night of the week, there's something new to check out, whether it's a recorded podcast or if it's something live. We try to, keep as many people out there, or if, we're going to share and put out something, even if somebody isn't doing a live, to say, hey, check this out, because this is also a cool person that's putting out some great content.
This could be interesting to you, or give your hobby like a refreshing new angle, whatever, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes you don't know half of the stuff coming out. How many notifications can you have in an app? It's like, I can't have dings going off all day. It's like, I got a job, I got to go shopping, I got to get groceries, like all this phone's dinging. I don't even know if it's an emergency in my phone or if it's just a pack drop. Like, I need to, have like some source that I can go to and say, okay, great, everything is here. So that's kind of like what the need of that. But obviously, it's been building as we've been doing it. So I just love to see that, as many people as we can get on board, come along. You can double stream your stuff on your channel and stream with us too. Like, I'd love to just, I'm not looking at it for monetarily, monetary wise. I just want to get a hub of people to look. And get the word out. So that's pretty much where it's been going.
I mean, I will happily take that offer someday. So
awesome.
I really appreciate that, and it's so cool that you guys try to build that, and not try, you building it right now. So pretty cool to see. And I guess you also onboard a lot of new people into collecting overall, or different kinds and verticals of collecting. So for like a collector who's like totally new, who's just starting out, with like so many different choices to start here, collect this, blah 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 blah. I mean, you've gone through that all. What would be your best advice for someone who who's just starting out with collecting?
To me, it's just collect what you're passionate about. You know, I would say, like, if it's something that, if you're into comics, if you're into you know, a Disney character who's been your favorite for all these years, something that you would buy, say, in, you know, in the physical world, whether it's, oh, I want to buy this T-shirt because it's of this, you know, my favorite team or whatever. Collect that, you know, go with something that it means something to you, because then it's not about the price. It's not about what value it's going to have long term. It's just more of about that you like it and you're keeping it. You know, it's like that. This shelf behind me is just some of, obviously, a small portion of the stuff that I have.
Yeah. I believe that for 100%.
Yes, there's loads of stuff that are cased up, and I don't even have enough wall space to display it. But you know, it's something that I love with the digital world, because you don't need a lot of space. So to me, it's like, everyone find your you know, your exact collectible that means something to you. Like for me, like, if you don't have a lot of space, you could get a frame like this, put it on your wall, and you could keep rotating your digital stuff in there as much as you want, and it ain't taking up any more room. You know, it's like you can put in there whatever you like, and you don't have to worry about it. Where if you have space and you have a nice shelf, look at the physical stuff. You know, it's like whatever means something to you. You know, I don't know. I like to look at it sometimes. Hey, if it's the price of a meal, like if you're gonna go out to dinner, and then that dinner's like whatever, $150, and you're like, oh, we had a good steak tonight. Don't eat steak. Go somewhere cheaper, and then buy a collectible. You can hold on to that longer. The meal, it's gone the next day. You know, it's like, look, sometimes take a little bit and invest it, and just to see if it's something you like. And if you enjoyed it, at least you still have it, and it's something cool that means something to you.
Yeah, nice. I think that's such good advice, because I mean, even if the price drops at like 90%, if you actually love the piece, then you are like, it's so cool that I own it. I don't care about the price at all. So yeah, great advice there. And to finish this interview off, if you could send like one message to every collector out there, or every collector watching here, no matter like what they collect, what would like this one message be from your end?
I would just say that collecting, you know, it's something that it basically just signifies who you are. And it's something that you can always leave back, you know, to the world. You know, it's something that, look at it as, if you have something that I also like, if I have this collectible that means something more to somebody else, I would like them to have it. You know, to me, it's I've talked with some big collectors out there. Tim Banaszak's a great collector of baseball cards. Basically purchased a whole collection that fills up a warehouse. But he's you know, the Big League Find is his Instagram, and you can check out all the stuff that he has. He just wants to get these, you know, collectibles to people that really enjoy these players and really appreciate them. You know, he bought this collection, and over time he's kind of dispersing of it to the right fans. You know, to me, that's a great epic, like legendary trail that you could run. You know, it's something that you're making a difference to other people by collecting, and obviously the stuff that means something to you can also keep. But it's just nice to see that there are collectors out there, and the differences that they can make through collecting. So who knows what, you know, the differences that you can make.
Yeah Awesome. Paul, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and like, so interesting to hear your take on collecting overall. And as I said earlier, I really love what you guys are doing there over at your channel. And please feel free again. I mean, you had a couple of minutes when I bumped out here, but plug your stuff. Where can people find you to discover like different niches of collecting and become part of your collecting community?
Sure. Yep. We got the whatdoyoucollectpodcast.com to just check out all the specific What Do You Collect episodes. Or otherwise you go to Collecting and Connecting on YouTube, or collectingandconnecting.com. All the links are there. That'll bring you to our YouTube. And from there, you could subscribe, just set the notifications, subscribe, follow. And also on social media, Paulie Wiswit is myself, over on Instagram, X, and TikTok. And either way, it's going to all feed back to the YouTube where everything's posted, to catch all the previous episodes and future ones coming up.
Nice. Awesome, guys. Have a good one and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.